Okay, so this is currently the best film of the year, and I'll be very surprised if anything this year tops it, and it's bloody January. Hey everyone, welcome back to my movie obsession. My name's Jim, and it's time to talk about 1917. Guys, it's... oh my god. 1917, of course, tells the real true life story of two corporals played by Dean Charles Chapman and George MacKay, who are given a mission to go and call off an attack that is a trap set out by the Germans, and also warn one of the corporal's brothers. And this movie is unbelievable. Sam Mendes, I don't know how he has gone under the radar, because based on this direction and based on what he's produced here, I believe the guy is one of the best directors working today. And his cinematographer, Roger Deakins, mate, what can I say? The cinematography and direction in this film is mesmerising. It's overwhelming. It blows you away. There are so many shots in this film that are literally ingrained in your mind, and they're still ingrained in my mind. Sam Mendes uses this style in the film, which a lot of people have said doesn't add anything to it, and I'm staggered that they would say that, of barely any cuts. So it seems to be one shot. It's tracking these guys from the beginning of their mission to the end, and you're with them every step of the way. You feel like you're literally walking with them. You follow them. The movie isn't set up in a fashion where it's one scene, cut, another scene. It's just literally you follow them. And to be put in that situation, to be forced to go on this terrifying journey with these characters, puts you on the boots on the ground, and it makes you realise what these men went through. And again, every time I see an incredibly executed war film, I'm once again just take my ultimate hat off to what these guys did. It's unbelievable. And in today's day and age, to be taken from your regular life and said, you're going to do this, you're going to fight, I can't fathom that happening, and I don't know if I'd be able to do that. And it's remarkable that these guys just accepted their fate and did it. It's staggering. When the characters are shot, you feel their fear. You feel like you are being shot at. You are by their side as they are being shot at. You are by their side as you see bodies everywhere, as you see the remnants of battle, as you see these when they're in these trenches underground and the whole thing's collapsing. You feel like you're in there. You feel like you're in that enclosed space and that it's coming down around you. Sam Mendes creates this intimate, incredibly absorbing atmosphere, and this is doing what 3D tries to do, and 3D could never take me into a film the way that 1917 did. You root for the characters with everything you have in this. You relate to them so much. And I need to specifically single out George MacKay's performance in this, one of the corporals. It is staggering. This guy, the youth in his eyes, the kind of shock. You see the disintegration of what's going on inside of him. You see his emotions disappear, where all that matters now is this mission. And you see just the way he looks around him and just sees that there's nothing left for him to believe in except for this mission. And he's just laser focused on this mission. That's all he's got left. The determination, the innocence as well behind the eyes. You can tell that he's been plucked from a regular life and put in this situation. He's not a soldier, and he's just forced to block out all that confusion, all that stress, and just do it as all these guys were. The pace and the intensity of this film never lets up. When George MacKay is being chased by German soldiers in the midst of flames and brick passageways and burnt buildings, and he's just running for his life. So many scenes of him running for his life in this film. It's just unbelievably captivating and overpowering, and you are just filled with this. You want him to do it. You want him to pull off this mission. You want these corporals to pull off this mission, but especially George MacKay. There is such a pace to this, as I say, it just keeps going, but there are brief moments of human interaction. Like, for example, when George MacKay's character sees a German lady hiding underground with a baby, and he has a brief human moment with her, and you see his good heart, and you see that during the war there would have been these moments where human connection happened, you know, between Germans and British and American soldiers, you know, and people, you know, and humanity came back in little bursts. And there's a wonderful moment where one of the soldiers is singing to all the soldiers are sitting around in the forest listening to him, and that's an incredibly moving scene, and it just fills you with that hope in humanity. You know, even in the darkest moments you could find joy and you can find strength. The movie is very bleak, but it's about holding on to something to believe in the midst of a horrible situation. You know, it's about believing that you can make a difference, even just a small one. Even though they don't get noticed in a gigantic scheme of things, people can have their own little achievements that mean everything to them, to the people around them, to the people whose lives they've affected. They might not affect the gigantic scope of everything ever, but even in the midst of when things are just feel like there's no hope whatsoever, you can achieve small wins in life. And back here, the soldiers did, and they could have those little moments of euphoria. And I really do feel like this film captures that idea that I've always thought about in war, where these soldiers were feeling the most extreme of emotions all the time. So when they were happy, they would feel extreme happiness. When they were terrified, they would feel extreme fear, extreme anxiety, extreme desperation. And, you know, it does make you think that these guys really did live. You know, and I don't want to paint it any other way. I would take them out of that war in a second. But the consolation is, these guys probably felt more than a lot of people who have lived. These soldiers were so human. These soldiers were possibly the most human people who've ever lived, because what they felt, they had no choice but to feel everything, to be overwhelmed with every emotion whenever it came, because it's just such a terrible pressure cooker situation. It's just an overwhelming bubble of trapped. You know, it's just trapped in this situation where they have to just feel everything. And I feel like the actors in this really do display that. When they're happy, they're happy. When they're terrified, they're terrified. When they're desperate, they're desperate. When they're on the run, they're on the run. You know, they must have felt the most extreme form of adrenaline in these situations. One of the last few scenes where our characters are just moving forward, laser focused to try and achieve this goal, even when it looks like everything's been for nothing. Again, it's an unbelievable showing of human spirit. It really is. The characters never give up in this, and it makes you look at your own life and think, you know what, you can be upset about your life. You can have things that frustrate you in life. You can have depression and mental illness and this and that, but it does give you perspective to sit back sometimes and think, whoa, this shit actually happened and I can't believe it. What did you guys think of 1917? I genuinely think it is the best film of the year. I know it's January, but this is a hypnotising experience. The direction is spectacular. The performances are spectacular. The pace is incredible. The little moments of human dialogue, of discussion, of gestures, of wishing each other well, really stand out and really just make you feel belief in humanity even through this. And and then when it has to be, the nihilistic bleakness of war is just put in your face with no compromises whatsoever. So this is just a film that captures everything about the Second World War all in one film, in my opinion. Again, I'm just blown away by this film. What did you guys think of 1917? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time.